Caitlin Clark, what she's doing doesn't minimize what they've done, but we should have been giving her the credit. We saw the ratings, we saw the merchandise sales, we saw the attendance.
That was on purpose. Is Caitlin Clark making too much of it? Is she exaggerating it, trying to get the call? You can think both things. You can think, hey, this is on purpose. Caitlin Clark played a terrible game, shot 4 of 17 from the field. The Indiana Fever got curb stomped by the Connecticut Sun.
Imagine being the best at what you do, but instead of praise, you get hit with accusations about your race. That's what Caitlin Clark is dealing with right now. Shannon Sharpe is fired up about it, and he's not holding back. You won't believe what he's saying about the WNBA drama. Clark's been lighting up the court, but some people are trying to dim her shine. They're saying her success is just because she's white. Can you believe that? It's like they're watching a different game. But here comes Shannon Sharpe, the unexpected hero in this story. He's not having any of it. He's calling out the haters and defending Clark like she's family. His words are shaking up the basketball world, and you need to hear what he's saying. This isn't just about one player, though. It's bigger than that. We're talking about the future of women's basketball and how we talk about race in sports. The drama's just getting started, and you won't want to miss what happens next. Just when you thought the tension couldn't get any higher, things got physical. A split-second incident on the court has Shannon Sharpe seeing red. Is this the moment that exposes the ugly truth behind the WNBA's growing pains? Picture this. Caitlin Clark, the rookie sensation, is tearing up the court like she always does.
That's great, and you have an opportunity to come back the next game and, try to play a little bit better and give yourself a chance to take it back home and win.
Well, people say, all of a sudden, I'm now interested in something I wasn't before. Look at the attendance, look at the viewership. And then they watch the games, and she's constantly being abused. She was stabbed in the eye last night.
Kind of swatted at Caitlin. Did you intend to hit her in the eye? And if so, could you just, or if not, either way, could you talk about what happened on that play?
She's weaving through defenders, sinking shots, and making it look easy. But then, out of nowhere, bam. Clark gets poked in the eye. It looks accidental, right? Well, Shannon Sharpe doesn't think so. Sharpe's not holding back. He's calling it a Bush League play. That's not just trash talk. That's saying someone deliberately tried to hurt Clark. Can you believe it? Sharpe thinks some WNBA players are so jealous of Clark's success that they're resorting to dirty tactics. But why would anyone want to take down Clark? Sharpe's got a theory. He says some WNBA players are mad at rookies like Clark and Angel Reese. Why? Because these new stars are stealing the spotlight. They're getting all the attention, all the fans, and maybe even all the sponsorship deals. And that's making some veterans see green. Sharpe's not just defending Clark. He's exposing a whole can of worms in women's basketball. He's saying there's a real problem with how some veterans treat the rookies. It's not just about competition anymore. It's about jealousy, resentment, and maybe even fear of being replaced. But here's where it gets really interesting. Sharpe's not just talking about one incident. He's saying this eye poke is just the tip of the iceberg. He thinks Clark's been dealing with this kind of treatment for a while now. And you know what? He's impressed with how she handles it. Sharpe's praising Clark for her ability to perform under pressure. He's saying she's not just talented, she's tough. She's facing all this hate, all this jealousy, and she's still out there breaking records and winning games. That's not just skill, that's mental strength.
I mean, we all see it. It is what it is. I think that at the end of the day, I know who I am. And
Caitlin Clark, unanimous Rookie of the Year. But what's even more impressive, she's first team WNBA.
The Michael Jordan of the WNBA was assaulted, has a black eye during the second half of the game because Dejanay Carrington stabbed her with her fingernails in the eye.
So what does all this mean for the WNBA? It's not just about one player or one incident anymore. This whole controversy is shining a light on some serious issues in women's basketball. It's about how the league treats its stars, how players handle competition, and maybe even about the future of the sport itself. Hold up, we're not done yet. There's a twist in this story that's got everyone talking. Some critics are throwing around wild accusations about Caitlin Clark's race. Is being white in the WNBA really an advantage? Let's find out why Shannon Sharpe is calling foul on this argument. You'd think being a basketball superstar would be all about your skills on the court, right? Well, apparently not for Caitlin Clark. Some people are actually saying her popularity is just because she's white. Can you believe that? It's like they're watching a completely different game. But Shannon Sharpe isn't having any of it. He's stepping up to defend Clark, and he's not pulling any punches. Sharpe's saying, Caitlin Clark is box office. She's doing this. And instead of giving her credit, y'all trying to make it about... He trails off, but we all know what he means. He's calling out those who are trying to make Clark's success about race instead of talent. And let's talk about that talent for a second. Clark's not just good, she's incredible. In her first 12 WNBA games, she's averaging 16.8 points, 5.3 rebounds, and 6.3 assists per game. Those aren't just rookie numbers, those are star player numbers. No wonder Sharpe's calling her box office. But this isn't just about Clark.
Oh, you would think she would do this or the poking out like this. How are you going to go for the ball like this and then have your hand come down and hit her right in the eye?
She's got to get out of there. They need a real enforcer. They need people that have Caitlin Clark's back.
I mean, I'm just really happy for this organization, obviously. I mean, look at these fans. They're incredible. So if it wasn't for them, I don't know if we'd be here.
Sharpe's using this situation to shine a light on a bigger issue in sports. He's saying, this is how I feel and I can prove it. Minorities are far more racist against black people or against white people than white people against minorities. That's a bold statement, and it's got people talking. Sharpe's not trying to erase the contributions of other WNBA players, though. He's quick to point out, what the women came before her did cannot be taken away, but we should have been giving her the credit. He's saying we can celebrate Clark's talent without diminishing anyone else's achievements. This whole controversy is making us think differently about race and success in sports. It's not just about who's the best player anymore. It's about how we talk about talent, how we handle success, and whether we can appreciate greatness without bringing race into it. You know what's crazier than all this drama? How it's actually changing the game in a way you'd never expect. While everyone's been focused on the Clark controversy, something huge is happening in the WNBA. We're talking about a financial milestone that's going to shake things up big time. Let's talk numbers for a second. The WNBA is projected to rake in $200 million in revenue for 2024. That's not just a little bump, that's a game changer. And guess who's playing a big part in this growth? Yep, Caitlin Clark herself. She's not just breaking records on the court, she's helping break the bank for the league. But here's where it gets complicated.
Vocal about their fandom of her was because they were using her as a wedge and a weapon against the black women in the league.
That's how twisted and screwed up this WNBA thing and this sexuality thing is they got going on in the WNBA.
I was trying to make a play on the ball, and I guess I followed through and I hit it, so obviously it's never intentional.
While Clark's bringing in the big bucks and the big crowds, not everyone's celebrating. Some players are acting like crabs in a bucket, trying to pull her down instead of lifting each other up. Shannon Sharpe's calling out this behavior, and he's not mincing words. Sharpe's saying, this isn't just about Clark. It's about a bigger problem in women's sports. Some players are so focused on their own slice of the pie that they're missing the fact that the whole pie is getting bigger. They're worried about losing their spot in the spotlight, instead of seeing how stars like Clark are making that spotlight brighter for everyone. And it's not just about the money or the fame. This whole situation is shining a light on some serious issues about race and gender in sports. The way people are treating Clark and Angel Reese, it's like a mirror showing us all the biases and prejudices we still need to work on as a society. But here's the thing. This controversy could be exactly what the WNBA needs right now. It's got people talking, it's got people watching, and most importantly, it's got people thinking. We're not just debating who's the best player anymore. We're having real conversations about equality, fair treatment, and what it means to support women in sports. Think about it. When was the last time you saw this much buzz around the WNBA? Clark and Reese aren't just star players. They're changing the whole game. They're bringing in new fans, new sponsors, and new opportunities for everyone in the league. Let's talk about the real game changer here. It's not just about Caitlin Clark or Shannon Sharpe. It's about how we treat talent in women's sports. Sharpe's got a point when he says, Caitlin Clark is box office. She's bringing the heat, and we should be cheering her on, not tearing her down. But this isn't just about one player.
The first woman to ever be the biggest star in American sports was assaulted 2 minutes into the game.
They're trying to act like it's somehow virtuous that women are degrading and trying to eliminate Caitlin Clark in the WNBA. Let's keep it real.
It's about all of us. How we talk about sports, how we support athletes, and how we deal with our own biases. Sharpe's calling for a shift in mindset, and he's right. We need to celebrate achievements, not nitpick about race or background. So here's the challenge. Next time you watch a game, think about how you're reacting. Are you appreciating the skill, or are you letting other stuff cloud your judgment? It's time we all step up and be better fans, better commentators, and better supporters of women's sports.